सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 11. We'll chant the first 10 verses.
Arjuna uvacha madanugrahaya paramam guhyamadhyatmasangitam yatvayoktam vachastena mohoyam vigato mama bhavapyayo hi bhutanam श्रुतौ विस्तरशो मया त्वत्तः कमलपत्राक्ष माहात्म्यमपि चाव्ययम् एवमेतद्यथार्थत्वम् आत्मानं परमेश्वर द्रष्टुमिच्छामि ते रूपम् ऐश्वरं पुरुषोत्तम मन्यसे यदि तच्छक्यं मया द्रष्टुमिति प्रभो योगेश्वर ततो मे त्वं दर्शयात्मानमव्ययम्। श्रीभगवानुवाच पश्य मे पार्थरूपाणि शतशोऽथ सहस्रशः नानाविधानि दिव्यानि नानावर्णाकृतीनि च पश्यादित्यान् वसून् रुद्रान् अश्विनौ मरुतस्तथा बहून्यदृष्टपूर्वाणि पश्याश्चर्याणि भारत इहैकस्थं जगत्कृत्स्नं पश्याद्य सचराचरम् मम देहे गुडाकेश यच्चान्यद्द्रष्टुमिच्छसि न तु मां शक्यसे द्रष्टुम् अनेनैव स्वचक्षुषा दिव्यं ददामि ते चक्षुः पश्य मे योगमैश्वरम्। सञ्जय उवाच एवमुक्त्वा ततो राजन् महायोगेश्वरो हरिः दर्शयामास पार्थाय परमं रूपमैश्वरम् अनेकवक्त्रनयनम् अनेकाद्भुतदर्शनम् अनेकदिव्याभरणम् दिव्यानेकोद्यतायुधम्।
The 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita is called Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga, the yoga of the vision of the cosmic form. Vishwarupa meaning universal form, cosmic form. Darshana meaning to see, the vision. So the yoga of the vision of the cosmic form, Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga. In the previous chapter, which we concluded last month, chapter 10, it was called Vibhuti Yoga, the yoga of supreme manifestation. So from today, we will start the 11th chapter. Now, what we need to understand as a seeker, that chapter 10 and 11, they are catering predominantly to devotional people. And there is a reason for that. See, first of all, devotional people also, they need something. It's not that only intellectuals, they should get something from the scriptures. So Bhagavad Gita is mainly for people who use their intellect. But also through such chapters 10, 11, they are catering to people who are by and large devotional. Second reason is, when philosophy is given for a long period of time, from chapter 2, Krishna starts giving the highest knowledge, the highest philosophy. So a seeker needs some time to absorb the knowledge. There is no point going one after the other, introducing you to these subtler concepts. All concepts are subtle. So you need a time to absorb the knowledge. So chapter 10 and 11, they give us that time. Assumption is we are reflecting on the first 9 chapters, on the philosophy, on the knowledge. And the third reason is, if you have to grow spiritually, there has to be a confluence of knowledge and devotion. Only knowledge will not get you anywhere. You have to have bhakti. Bhakti is nothing but devotion, reverence, surrender. So knowledge has to go hand in hand with devotion. Devotion alone will not take you anywhere. Devotion has to be backed by the knowledge, the understanding. So mind and intellect both play crucial role if you have to progress on the spiritual path. So therefore you find even chapters which are loaded with knowledge, suddenly he changes frequency. And he talks about devotion. And many of the verses, they have dual tongue. So it can be meant for the intellectuals, also devotional people, they also get something. So confluence of knowledge and devotion is must for our spiritual progress. So that's the reason, these are some of the reasons that chapter 10 and 11, they are predominantly catering to devotional people. Now, I think all of you were there for the 10th chapter, isn't it? So the 10th chapter, supreme reality is shown analytically. That's what Arjuna asked Krishna, where is God? So analytically, Krishna is showing. It is in A, it is in B, it is in C. So he picks up objects and beings of the world, and he points out that God is everywhere in all objects and beings of the world. But he picks up grand expressions from the world so that it becomes easy for us to understand. Also, it is inspiring. So analytically, he is showing what is God, what is supreme reality. It's like pointing out waves in the ocean. Somebody is asking the question, where is ocean? So ocean is in the wave A, ocean is in the wave B, ocean is in the wave C. He goes on and on. And in the 11th chapter, the concept of supreme reality is shown synthetically. See, I repeat, in chapter 10, supreme reality is shown analytically. Stick to the example of ocean and wave. It is in this wave, it is in that wave. That is analytically. And synthetically means all the waves they are in the ocean. That is synthetic explanation. So the entire world, all the objects and beings of the world, they are in the God. That is God. That is synthetically. And then picking up individual objects and beings and say, hey, God is in this, God is in that, that is analytically. It's quite simple. Now, to begin with, we have to understand, see, though the chapter is called the Yoga of Cosmic Vision, Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga, there is no such thing called as cosmic form. Supreme reality cannot have any form. Why supreme reality cannot have any form? Because when we say supreme reality, what is understood that it is all pervading, it is infinite. So anything which is all pervading, anything which is infinite, how can it have a form? So they are dramatizing it for lay people. See, even in Shakespeare, he brings in the concept of a ghost. Now, there is no ghost, but that's the way Shakespeare dramatizes. Hamlet sees his father's ghost, and Hamlet and Horatio and a few soldiers they go in the dark spot of the fort, and everybody runs away, and that ghost comes and tells Hamlet, my brother he killed me, but your mother is innocent, because the brother marries Hamlet's uncle, he marries Hamlet's mother within a month. This is how the whole play starts, within a month, within a month. So the ghost tells Hamlet, take revenge. No, my brother is a culprit, your uncle is a culprit, but your mother is innocent. So there is no such thing called as ghost. This is what I'm trying to tell you. They dramatize, so it becomes very interesting. So similarly, he is dramatizing, Krishna is dramatizing that there is cosmic vision, there is cosmic form. But all of us with this knowledge, we have been attending Bhagavad Gita for a long time. You have to understand that there is no such thing called as form. Why supreme reality cannot have a form? Because it is what? I explained just now.
It is all pervading, it is everywhere.
Excellent. It is all pervading, it is infinite. The moment you say anything is all pervading, infinite, can it have a form? It cannot. You and I have a form. Why we have a form? Because we are not all pervading. If we were all pervading, none of us would be able to, nobody can see each other. So there is no such thing called as form. So it's dramatization. That is number one. Second reason why he brings in the concept of form is because Krishna is catering to Arjuna's concept of God, which is layman's concept of God. Layman believes there is form, so they need that. And also, another intention is in the context of Bhagavad Gita that Krishna has to help Arjuna to come out of the emotional situation. He has become very emotional and he has to get on with the action. So, therefore, he is going along with Arjuna. Now, what it means philosophically is very interesting, that a true master meets a seeker at his or her level. Upanishads are totally different. So the Upanishadic master is meeting the student at their level. Arjuna is not the student of that caliber. So Krishna gives him a very diluted knowledge. He meets Arjuna at his level. Otherwise, there is no point, isn't it? You want to learn mathematics. You're a You're an initiate, you don't know much about mathematics. And a professor who is PhD, who is like brilliant, straight away if he starts talking about calculus, I mean, what are we going to understand? So he has to come to our level. 1 plus 1 is 2. You understand, why it is so. Like how we teach kids, one apple, you bring another apple is 2 apples. So exactly same thing is happening here. And we often give this example. I mean, those who are from India, they will know what I am talking. All of you have heard about Swami Vivekananda. He was a famous Swami from India who lectured in America, I think more than 100 years back. And that is how he became famous. But when he was a youngster, he was like 17 or 18, he went to various spiritual gurus of his time. And he asked them this question, do you know God? So all of them said, no, I mean, it's not possible to know God. We don't know God. So finally, he met Swami Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, his guru, enlightened master. And he asked this question to him. He was Naren that time. Swami Vivekananda was not yet Swami Vivekananda. He was just Naren. And Naren asked this question to Swami Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Sir, do you know God? Have you seen God? To which Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said, yes, I have seen God, I see him just as I am seeing you right now. Now, if he had told Naren that time, God is not an object of perception, it is not an object of emotion, it is not an object of comprehension, it is a subject in you which enables you to perceive, feel, and think, Naren would have run away. I don't know, what are you talking? So, an enlightened master is coming to the level of an ordinary person to accommodate him so that he can help him grow. So exactly same thing is happening here. There is no form. Supreme reality cannot have any form, but the entire chapter is about the form. So he's catering mainly to devotional people. So this is what you have to understand right in the beginning of the chapter. So we are making a statement that supreme reality cannot have any form, and the entire chapter we are going to study that form. It's a contradiction in terms. So there are 6 topics in this chapter, 55 verses, and these 55 verses, they can be divided into 6 topics. So this topic-wise summary is the part of research done by Swamiji. It's not in the original Bhagavad Gita. So the first topic is called Arjuna requests and Krishna shows his cosmic form. Verse number 1 to 12. Yeah, you can see on the screen. Topic 2, struck with wonder, Arjuna describes the cosmic form. 13 to 25. Topic 3, the all-consuming destructive expression of the Supreme Being. 26 to 34. Overwhelmed with fear and adoration, Arjuna surrenders to the cosmic form. 35 to 45. Topic 5, Arjuna appeased upon seeing the Lord's gentle form. 46 to 51. And the last topic number 6, the way to reach the Supreme Being. 52 to 55. So what we are going to do only for this chapter, that we will not study it verse by verse. So far we have been studying verse by verse all the chapters, but this chapter there is not too much of philosophy. So it's not productive to pick up every verse and start understanding, start analyzing. We did that though for chapter 10, just to give you a test. So what we are going to do for this entire chapter is that we are going to understand the main points or main concepts in each topic. Are you with me? And you can cross reference when I'm going to explain the main concepts. You can clearly see the train of thought in these verses. But if you approach these verses on your own, you will not understand. So therefore, I'm going to give you the main points, which is topic summary. And what you have to do is your homework is going to be you have to read the translation or rather the commentary, Swamiji's commentary for those particular verses. So today we'll try to complete the first topic, verse number 1 to 12. Arjuna requests and Krishna shows his cosmic form. So there are 7 main concepts, 7 main points in the first topic. So the first point is, see, Arjuna is asking Krishna, or he's saying, thank you, sir, for revealing this supreme secret to me. That is verse number 1. If you read the translation, by that speech of the supreme secret, Paramam Guhyam, Paramam meaning supreme, Guhyam means secret. By that speech, you explain to me that supreme secret, known as self, Adhyatman, known as God, which you have spoken out of compassion for me, this delusion of mine is dispelled. So I am getting some kind of clarity about the concept of God. So the interesting word here is supreme secret. Supreme reality is not known to anybody. God is not known to anybody. Now, why do we say that? We know body, mind, intellect, but we don't know God. With body, we can perceive, we can act. With mind, you feel various emotions, range of emotions, positive, negative emotions. With intellect, you can think various thoughts, concepts, ideas, and ideologies. But you cannot use body, mind, intellect to know God. It is beyond perception, it is beyond emotion, it is beyond intellectual comprehension. Because God principle enlivens body, mind, intellect. It is the subject in body, mind, and intellect. Therefore, it cannot be an object of perception, emotion, and thought. So, therefore, by using your material equipments, body, mind, intellect, there is no way you can know God. That's the mistake people they are making. Oh, I want to see God. You can't perceive God. I want to feel divinity. You can't feel divinity with your mind. Intellectually, I want to understand God. I want to put it in a test tube. E equals mc square. You can't do that. So, therefore, it remains the secret. None of us know what the concept of God is. That is number one reason why it is called as the supreme secret, topmost secret. Second reason is we all are caught up in 3 states of consciousness: deep sleep, dream, waking state. That is my life, that is your life, everybody's life. And these 3 states of consciousness, they are conditioned states of consciousness. And a conditioned person cannot know what is the concept of God. Are you with me? Though the God principle runs through all these 3 states of consciousness, right now we are in a waking state. So what enlivens waking state is God principle. Similarly, what enlivens dream state is God principle. What enlivens deep sleep state is God principle. But we have no clue of what that God principle is, which runs through all these three states of consciousness, because we have become conditioned by our desires. So it is desires which bring about the play of these three states of consciousness: waking, dream, deep sleep, waking, dream, deep sleep. And they are conditioned states. When you say conditioned by our desires. So, how can a conditioned person, which is nothing but you and me, know what is the unconditioned state? It's not possible. How can a drunk person know what it means to be sober? At that moment, he is conditioned by the alcohol. The moment he comes out of the conditioning of the alcohol, then he will know who he really is. So, though we belong to that state, we are that supreme reality. Right now, due to our own desires created by us, due to our own indiscriminate functioning, we are caught up in the play of these three states of consciousness. I repeat, they are called as dream state of consciousness, waking state of consciousness, and deep sleep state of consciousness. So, the conditioned person cannot know what that unconditioned state is. So, none of us can understand, we can't conceive what that unconditioned state is, which is referred to as God or Supreme Reality. Therefore, most people live their entire life in ignorance. It's like you have to magnify, whole life you are drunk. So, you don't know who you really are. So, we don't know what is our original state, we don't know who we really are. We cannot understand when these enlightened masters, they tell us you are that supreme reality, because we are conditioned. So therefore, entire life we are groping in darkness, isn't it? Playing with body, mind, and intellect. It's like a child. Child is playing with the toys. Can you talk to a child, 3 or 4 year old child, and tell him, honey, what's in the toy world? Come on, get real. It's not possible. Child is totally conditioned by childhood desires. Exactly same thing is happening. The entire life we are caught up in perceptions, actions, emotions, and thoughts. But we don't know what enlivens body, mind, intellect, what makes me perceive, what makes me feel, what makes me comprehend. That is God. So therefore, entire life we are groping in the darkness. If you understand it. If you don't understand, what is the problem? It is bliss of ignorance. See, I don't know how many of you heard this Plato's metaphor. We have mentioned in this class a couple of times. Greek philosopher. He beautifully explains how we all are groping in total darkness. So you have to stretch your imagination. He talks about a civilization which has lived in a very dark cave for generations. And they have not seen a life beyond the cave. It is deep in the recesses of the mountain, it is dark. So, your father was born in that cave, your grandfather was born in that cave, everybody was born in that cave. There is something called as genealogy. There is a site, right? You can trace your ancestry. So they could trace the ancestry forever. That was that civilization, and they did not know any life beyond that cave. That is their life, and they used to light a fire And that fire used to, project shadows on the wall. And they used to dance and have party and they used to socialize with each other. That was the life, and they were happy, quite content in that. So one young man, he said, this cannot be the life. There has to be something more to life than this dark cave, and whole life we are dancing around this fire and watch the play of the shadows. So he starts exploring that cave, and everybody scoffs at him. They say, what are you doing? You mean I am wrong? I'm your father. Your grandfather is wrong. Your great great grandfather is wrong. So they ridicule him, sort of like ostracize him. But he has that conviction. He's bitten by that bug. There has to be something beyond this cave, dark cave. So he starts exploring. Days, weeks pass. And after a month or two, suddenly he sees something shining in the distance. It's the mouth of the cave. And when he comes out of that cave and he sees the life there is no comparison. So then he goes back again to the cave and he starts educating people. So, I mean, there is life beyond this cave. What are you doing? You're wasting your time. Come out. It's beautiful over there. Again, he is ridiculed, but handful of people, they understand what he's saying and they follow him, and they also come out of that cave. Now, exactly same thing is happening to you and me. How it is happening to you and me? Well, all enlightened masters, they are telling this to us. Whether it is Christ, whether it is Krishna, whether it is Lord Buddha, whether it is Prophet Muhammad, that you are that truth, you are that supreme reality, kingdom of God is within you. But we don't understand that. For me, the kingdom of God is dancing around a fire. I'm trying to find happiness at a level of body, mind, intellect. I don't understand what is that infinite peace, infinite bliss. Because this is what we have seen our entire life. This is what we have experienced our entire life. What? Body, mind, intellect, perceptions, emotions, and thoughts. And suddenly, the enlightened person comes and he says, you are not this body, mind, intellect. How can this conditioned person understand what that unconditioned state is? Are you with me? So that's the problem. So our entire life goes in ignorance. But once you understand this knowledge, if it hits you, see, you'll start putting efforts, you'll start questioning, is there anything beyond this body, mind, intellect? That is where your spiritual journey starts. And that supreme reality, that is the next point. See, slowly we are going to the next topic. And that supreme reality is the unchanging substratum of the entire world, the whole universe. All the objects and the beings, they come and go, but the substratum remains. Waves come and go, but the ocean remains. And you are that supreme reality. So, how do we get to supreme reality? Is you have to change your focus from impermanent aspect of your life, which is body, mind, intellect, just a passing phenomena, to what enlivens your body, mind, intellect. Right now, we are totally caught up. You may go through best of experiences, you may go through worst of experiences, physically, emotionally, intellectually. Are you with me? So either you could be caught up, entangled in the world positively. Another person could be caught up in the world negatively, meaning my life is hellish, I'm going through stress, I'm going through this, I'm going through that. Another person is caught up in a positive way. Oh, my life is beautiful, well settled, no worries, this and that. Either way, you are completely caught up, enmeshed, entangled at the level of body, mind, and intellect. So, how do you get to the supreme reality? Shift your focus from body, mind, intellect to the God principle in you, to the Atman in you, to the self in you. And how you do that? You have to wade through the desires. Go back to the first point. The problem is desires. It is desires in us which obscure the divinity in us. So you have to wade through your desires. That's what we mean by shift your focus from body, mind, intellect. And desires are at three levels. There are three types of desires. Desires are at physical level, action level, desires at emotional level, desires at the intellectual or thought level. So when we say you have to wade through desires, what does it mean? You have to remove these desires at action level, emotional level, intellectual level or thought level. How you do that? Karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, three spiritual practices. Path of action, path of devotion, path of knowledge. So when you engage yourself in these three practices, your life revolves around these three spiritual practices. That's what your life. Action is nothing but service. Devotion we understand. Knowledge we are studying right now. So these three spiritual practices, they are called as yogas, karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga. They slowly but surely remove the desires at physical, emotional, and intellectual level. And then you experience the supreme reality. And that experience of supreme reality is subjective apprehension, meaning you become it. You can't experience it through body, mind, intellect. Dreamer can become the waker. Dreamer cannot experience the waking state with his body. Dreamer cannot experience the waking state with his mind. Dreamer cannot experience the waking state with his intellect. But when dreamer becomes the waker, he understands the waking state. So similarly, we can't understand the state of supreme reality. We can't understand what is God. So way to understand supreme reality is to become supreme reality. In that sense, we use the word, it is subjective apprehension. It is not objective comprehension. Are you with me? These are simple concepts. And that's the problem Arjuna is going through. That through body, mind, intellect, he is trying to understand the concept of God. And Krishna tries to cooperate with him. In chapter 10, he shows supreme reality analytically. Now he's going to show synthetically. It is not going to make any difference to Arjuna. So, number one, it will not satisfy you. That is, if you try to understand concept of God through body, mind, intellect, it will not satisfy you. Number one, that is number one. Number two, it will not take you anywhere. See, the end of chapter 10, Krishna says, okay, I have explained to you the concept of God analytically. Arjuna wants more. And he says, Arjuna, what's the use? I mean, I have explained to you in 100 ways, and I can continue. It's not going to help you. So the fallacy is you are trying to comprehend the concept of God through body, mind, and intellect. Number one, it will not satisfy you. Number two, it will not take you anywhere. And we all are trying. Most people, they are trying to capture God through body, mind, intellect. Are you with me? The fallacy. And the moment you capture that God, the moment you capture supreme reality within you, immediately you understand that God is all pervading. It is in you, within you, first of all. And also it is transcendental. So it is immanent and it is transcendental. People ask, where is God? What is God? You are that truth. You are that reality. And the world you are experiencing is nothing but same supreme reality. Wave is nothing but the ocean. So the same ocean is in the wave. The same ocean is everywhere. In that sense, it is immanent in a particular way. Also, it is transcendental. It's not restricted, confined only to a wave. It is everywhere. So, in that sense, we use these two words. Supreme reality is immanent within you. Also, the same supreme reality is transcendental. Another interesting point in the context of this chapter, chapter 11, is there is a fallacy in Arjuna's approach to the concept of God. I'm going to explain what it means. See, beginning of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1 and chapter 2, Arjuna surrenders to Krishna and he says, I'm confused, please guide me. I'm not able to deal with this situation. That's the right way to function. You and I don't understand medicine. We go to a doctor, we surrender to a doctor, and we tell him, Sir, please cure me. I don't know what's happening to me. Other way of approaching doctor is you go and you tell him, This is what I have picked up from CVS pharmacy. Also, I went to Walgreens, and you show him like 10 bottles. I'm taking this medicine, I'm taking that medicine. For what? So, no doctor can cure you. It's not possible. That mistake Arjuna is making, which he did not make in chapter 1 and chapter 2. Now, here he is asking Krishna to show him the cosmic form. He is not asking, Is there a cosmic form? You get the fallacy. See, how it applies to you and me also is, see, there are people, sometimes they come and they say, Sir, I am reading this book, I am reading that book, 9 to 10 books I am reading. They tell you, I am trying to understand scriptures. They give you a list of 10 to 12 books. They will not ask you, what should I read to understand the message of the scriptures? Or they will tell you, I am doing comparative study of the religion. I have studied Hinduism, I have studied Christianity, I have studied 5, 6 names they will give you. They will not ask, Sir, what is the concept of religion? Do you get the difference? So, a true seeker, the right approach to approach this subject is to surrender to a master. And you ask him, Sir, I don't know how to study scriptures, so can you please help me? Then only a true master will tell you, do this, do that, as per your requirement. Like what applies to A may not apply to B. A predominantly devotional person comes to you, comes to a guru. Guru will not tell him, go study Upanishads. He'll tell him, go on a pilgrimage, do some rituals, maybe bow down in front of the altar. So that's the fallacy in Arjuna's approach to the spiritual path, and it applies to good many of us, if not all of us. But Krishna is very patiently trying to help Arjuna. He understands there is a fallacy in his approach. He doesn't say, hey, there is a fallacy, you must surrender to me. He goes with him. And he says, I will give you that divine eye by which you can see the cosmic form. That's the beauty. He doesn't say you can't see the cosmic form. There is no such thing called as form, first of all. He says, okay, I will give you divine eye, jnana chakshu, this extra power by which you can see the cosmic form. Now, what it means is, Krishna is telling Arjuna, he is telling all the seekers, I will help you to understand the concept of God. And it is not easy. See, this is what we all want to understand the scriptures, the message of the scriptures, right? So the Guru is telling us, yes, of course, I will explain it to you, but it's not easy. But I am going to explain it in such a way that slowly but surely you will understand. See, that is that divine vision. Another way to explain this is you and I are transacting at the level of the gross intellect, isn't it? Intellect is the faculty with which we think. And we employ this faculty of thinking when we contact the world, anything terrestrial. So when you contact the terrestrial world, you are using your gross intellect. Gross intellect is the capacity to distinguish between the pairs of opposites. This is right, this is wrong, this is black, this is white. No? That is intellect. But when you come to the study of the scriptures, you have to use your subtle intellect. It is same intellect, but it depends on where are you employing. So if you are using the capacity to think and reason in the terrestrial world, we use the word gross intellect. But when the same faculty of thinking, reasoning, analyzing, you employ to think about what is this concept of God, what is the purpose of life, what is beyond body, mind, intellect. So you are using your subtle intellect. And that transition takes a while. So therefore he says divine vision. Now suddenly you attend a lecture and we start talking about beyond body, mind, intellect, there is supreme reality. See, you can't understand that. So we start the lecture at 9:15, we play devotional music, then we meditate for a while, right? Then we do some chanting. So there is some time for us to switch from gross intellect to the subtle intellect. And having done that, once the class starts, there is systematic explanation of concepts of Bhagavad Gita. So teacher is going to give you the subtle concepts, that is that divine vision, and also you have to put efforts. So symbolically, Krishna is saying, I'm going to give you that divine eye. Are you following the explanation? Otherwise, end of the class you can clarify. So divine eye is nothing but switching from gross intellect to subtle intellect. That's what it means. For that you need to put efforts. And once you start dealing with the subtle concepts, you have to approach it systematically, methodically. Otherwise, you won't understand. So the teacher is going to help you. Also, you need to put your efforts. So that is that divine eye. And the last point in this topic is difficulty in understanding the concept of God. However, you may rack your brains, you will not understand that. Why? Because God or supreme reality is nothing but experiencer and experienced merging together. That's the difficulty. There is no subject object relationship, and throughout our life we are used to subject object relationship. See, right now you are hearing my voice. So my voice is the object and you are the subject. So there is a subject object relationship, isn't it? You see a landscape, you are a subject, that landscape is the object. So to experience the landscape, there has to be a subject, there has to be a object. So you are the experiencer, landscape is what you experience. Similarly, emotions. They may be positive emotions, they may be negative emotions, but you are experiencing range of emotions, isn't it? Similarly, thoughts. You may say, I understand, I don't understand. Or when you say understand, you are the subject who is understanding a concept. So there is experiencer and there is experienced. There is subject, there is object. And when subject comes in contact with the object, there is an experiencer. There is an experience. But when it comes to God, there is no such thing called as subject and object. Subject and object, they are one. That's the problem. From absolute level, there is only spirit. What matter? If you go to Mr. Ocean and you ask him, there are huge waves in you, sir, I got scared. Mr. Ocean will not understand waves. So from the absolute level, from the standpoint of the ocean, there are no waves. There is only ocean. But yes, from relative level, there are waves, there is ocean. So from relative level, there is matter, which is this world, which is made up of objects and beings, and there is spirit, which is a substratum from relative level. But from absolute level, there is only spirit. If you go to Mr. Spirit, and there is no such thing, and you ask him, sir, last night I saw thousands and thousands of galaxies through telescope. The Mr. Spirit, he will not understand. There is only spirit. What galaxies? What matter? He will ask you. But that's the difficulty when we talk about the concept of God. That experiencer and experienced, they merge. When wave understands it is the ocean, now what wave? What individuality? But till it understands that I am that ocean, there is individuality. I am big wave, I am small wave. But once it understands it is nothing but the ocean, who is experiencing what? You can't say ocean is experiencing ocean, isn't it? You can't say spirit is experiencing spirit. Spirit alone exists. There is no duality. From our point, yes, there is duality. There is spirit, there is matter. So that is the difficulty everybody has in understanding the concept of God. There is no subject-object relationship there. And we are used to subject-object relationship, without which we can't understand any experience. So therefore, we can't fathom what is that supreme reality. And same thing, Bible puts it in a beautiful way. Father and son are one. Initially, he says, my father who sent me from heaven, and in the end, he demolishes that concept. Now, what son? Father and son are one. Father represents spirit, son represents the world, objects and beings of the world. So father and son are one. Spirit and matter is same. Matter is spirit from absolute level. So this concept that experiencer and experience, they merge, is captured in verse number 10, 11 and 12, 10 to 12. But on your own, if you read, you will not understand anything. So the homework for you is for the next week. Read commentary on from verse number 1 to 12. Hope all of you have the book, Swamiji's book. Beginning of the lecture, we show the book. So in case somebody still doesn't have the book, it is available on Amazon. So read commentary on these 12 verses and the points which I mentioned just now. There were 7 main points. So you can see the thought flow. It goes like this systematically. So are we okay? So we need approximately 4 sessions to study these 6 topics, and then we'll start with chapter 12. It's called as Bhakti Yoga, Yoga of Devotion. And from 12th chapter, Bhagavad Gita takes you to a different level of understanding altogether, all the famous chapters are coming. We already studied first 9 chapters and you've seen the depth of the knowledge. So right now we are sort of taking a break. Don't take it literally. Thank you. No, I will miss the next sessions. You're trying to absorb the knowledge. You're reflecting. But once the 12th chapter starts, then there is no break. It will take us, I don't know, 14, 15, 18 months, one after the other, one after the other. He is going to bombard us with the highest knowledge. So that is how Bhagavad Gita goes. So the 12th chapter is Bhakti Yoga, the yoga of devotion. 13th chapter is called the yoga of the distinction between field and knower of the field. Kshetra, Kshetrasya, Vibhaga Yoga. It's a very famous chapter, very philosophical chapter. Then chapter 14 is called the yoga of distinction of three gunas, where he introduces the concept of three mental temperaments. Every human being is made up of that: sattva, rajas, and tamas. In-depth analysis of that. Again, chapter 15 is a very philosophical chapter, the yoga of the supreme being. 16th chapter is called a yoga of distinction of divine and demonic nature. So every human being is a combination of positive and negative qualities. You can see that analysis, very, very practical chapter. 17th chapter is called the yoga of threefold division of Shraddha, faith. Again, based on Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. And the last chapter, 18th chapter, the yoga of liberation through renunciation. Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, 18th chapter, is the longest chapter in Gita. So I think everybody knows the dates, right? I think from March 21st, we are going to start Makarand and Vijay, chapter 12.
Yes, Swamiji.
Yeah. So any doubts from what we discussed today?
Swamiji, Brad is having a question.
Yeah, please. Yes, sir.
Not a question. I wanted to thank you so much, and it's so nice to have you back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Asia?
Yeah, Asia, what's your question?
Hi.
Hi.
I've been coming on your Zooms trying to keep up whenever I can, but I want to start being consistently tuning in because I like what you were saying today about God and everything. But I know I have missed a lot. I don't even know what you guys are reading from or what you're doing, and I wanted to know if you can kind of help guide me so I can start catching up. Thank you.
Yeah. So, Asia, what you do for the time being, next 3 to 4 months, just attend the lectures. Don't worry about reading or anything. Just attend these lectures, and then I will tell you. After 3 months, you remind me. This is what I told you, that you listen to the lectures. So just listen to the lectures. All these concepts, they are repeated over and over again. And after 3 months or 4 months, I will tell you what book to read. So, but if you want to have a book, you can pick up Swamiji's book on Bhagavad Gita, but wait for a while, wait for a month or two. And if you like taking notes, if something appeals to you, you can note down, especially concepts which are practical. And slowly you will get the hang of the subject. And even if you miss a lecture here and there, you can access the recordings. So don't worry. I understand you are sincere. So as long as you are sincere, and if you miss few classes, no big deal.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome. So are we okay? All right. So have a wonderful weekend and see you next week.
Thank you,
Thank
Amit.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you,
Amici.
Kami.
Wonderful.
Hari Om. Thank you.
Thank you,
Amiji.
Amici.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Thank
Amici.
you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.